Hello, and welcome to a brand new day of discount boxes here on Magic the Gathering. Wait a minute. This isn't Arena. These are real cards. What am I doing with real cards? Well, as it turns out, this is a box opening video. I'm going to start recording myself as I open up some new cards for my collection. I figure if I'm going to be buying the cards anyway, I might as well share the experience with you all. So, this is a draft booster box of Ixalan. Um, People love to use box cutters for these, but the plastic's actually pretty soft. As you see, I can just use my thumbnail to slice it open. I don't really own any of this set yet, so this will be a treat for me. Every playable card that I get, even the commons and uncommons, is a new tool for me. Alright, so this has got a box topper and a little art card advertisement insert. Let's see how hard it is to get a hold of. Alright. Not too bad. There's a dino. Kind of cute. Let's see what this box topper thing is. And we are an Amulet of Vigor. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped and under your control, untap it. This is a pretty cool card. Just useful in a number of ways in the Eternal formats. So we'll cover up the owl over here. All right. Let's get to work. So I know the draft boosters are not necessarily the most exciting things to open for most people. I'm going to be just sorting these cards as we go here. So, red, green, black, blue, white. I guess this will be the artifact pile. The braid's playable, but there's a lot of different options at this point in Standard. Soyowa's Justice is a strangely flexible card. Wouldn't be surprised if someone finds a use for it. Hey, a creature land. That's a good one. And there's a cave. I might find a use for it. Dino token. Alright, so I don't want to take too long. But, this is my first time opening Lost Caverns of Ixalan, so I don't exactly want to speed my way through it. Oaken Siren, I feel like this could have a little bit of constructed potential. Anything that makes mana for 2. Tithing Blade's not the worst either. If you needed to make the opponent sacrifice a thing and put out an artifact at the same time. Oh, it's Quinth in the alternate art. Let's see, I guess I need a multicolor pile. There we go. A Magmatic Galleon. It hasn't done anything in Standard yet, but is that actually a Plains? It says it is. Okay. Guess I'll make a basic land pile over here. Alright. I'm sure I'll start going faster as we go along. As the set starts looking a little bit more familiar. There's one of the only pieces of land destruction that we have in Standard. There's a few other cards here and there. Most of them are terribly overcosted. Ixalan's Lorekeeper. That's definitely a playable card in a dinosaur deck. Market Gnome can do some work in an artifact deck, too. Funky Art, Bringer of the Last Gift. ETBs, if you cast it, each player sacrifices all other creatures they control. Huh. And then each player returns all creature cards from their graveyard that weren't put this way to the battlefield. Oh, okay, it's like a living death. Alright, alright. I was wondering why people weren't using this as a board sweeper. It's because it's not necessarily a board sweeper. Alright. Right, Hidden Cataract and a map. Alright, let's keep going here. Braid, not bad. Diamond Pickaxe. Some people are actually using this card for its status as an artifact, and because it's indestructible. I saw a kind of clever deck based around it. Hey, treasure map. I remember this from the original run. Might still have a few copies somewhere. Hey, Skeleton Pirate. It's a cool token. Treasure map's still a playable card in Standard. It's more of a control deck card. You need to be sweeping the board, answering what the opponent's doing, and then you can, get around to flipping it over, drawing some cards. It can also ramp you on mana the turn that it flips, which is sometimes more useful than drawing the cards. Buried Treasure. I feel like it doesn't quite get there. Deadweight could certainly be a player, especially if you want enchantments. Could be a playable card. Eaten by Piranhas. I keep forgetting this card exists. Definitely a tool for some blue deck somewhere. Another Magmatic Galleon. I don't think Magmatic Galleon's a bad card at all. So you get a 5/5 vehicle, which vehicles are a big pain in the neck. They don't die to a go for the throat. They tend to dodge most board sweepers. Soaring Sandwing's actually useful for the plane cycling. Torch. Anyway, the Magmatic Galleon, then it turns into this 5/5 that crews up for just 2. And frankly, it's probably a usable card, it's just that no one's using it. Deep Cavern Bat, people love that one. Direflail, it's got about the same stats as a Bone Splitter, if anyone remembers that card. So, Direflail's probably playable as a 1 or 2 of in a red aggro deck, I would think. You don't want to bog down on too many equipment, obviously. You want a pretty good creature count. But you could even slap it on an animated land for just 1 mana. Capybara is like the budget option if you want to build that kind of green-black graveyard deck. There are so many amazing rare 2-drops that are available for that color combination right now. But if you were just starting out, the Capybara would do you fine. Lore Keeper again. Whale of the Forgotten, weird art. Okay, so this is the one that if you got 8 permanents in your graveyard, you can choose all of the modes if you want. So returns non-land permanent to its owner's hand. It's only a sorcery, it's kind of sad. Target opponent discards a card, which, then you can do the thing if they're empty-handed where you bounce something and then they discard the thing. And look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Yeah, card's fine. It's not like the most exciting or anything. Foil Petrify. And a treasure token. So people seem to love this set. It has been selling extremely well. Like Nurturing Bristlebacks, actually, you could play it just for the forest cycling, but getting out 8 power across 2 bodies is not an unreasonable card to include in a deck either. I think it's a strong budget option. Spelunking! That's a nice one to get. Can gain life, make extra land drops, and all of your lands enter untapped. Chart of Course is a great card too, and the Ever-Flowing Well. Foil Capybara. Fill in the blank. All right. So I'm not sure why this set in particular has done so well. Murders at Karlov Manor has a bunch of playable rares and mythics in it. I talked about this in one of my other videos. I was being kind of silly in the video, but at the same time I was making a lot of, realistic points about the set. Brontodon. Oh, Inti. It's like a card people really like. So if you did like a side-by-side comparison of, Lost Caverns of Ixalan, Murders at Karlov Manor, and you asked, well, how many cards of each of these are being played in Standard at the moment? Now, obviously the one that's been out for longer is going to have seen more adoption. Just because people, it's a known quantity. They've already shuffled around cards in their decks. Oh, Jadelight Spelunker. I am very happy to have this. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ixalan's got more cards in decks in Standard at the moment. But there's a bunch of great cards that came out in Karlov Manor. Some of them are already seeing play. And some of them might take, a little while to filter their way in. But I feel like the power is there. So I think people liked the mechanics and the flavor. Ooh, Restless Anchorage. This is a great hit. I feel like people like the mechanics and the flavor of Ixalan better than Karlov Manor. And price is an issue as well. Not anymore, though. This box of draft boosters of LCI is basically the same price that I paid, which is $106 with tax included, and shipping and everything. It's about the same price, almost identical, to a play booster box of Murders at Karlov Manor. So price-wise, you're getting about the same. You could even make the argument there are more rares in a play booster box than there are in a draft booster box. Clay-Fired Bricks. This is a great one. Love this card. Oh, hey, Deep Fathom Echo. So this one explores on combat, and then it can become a copy of another creature you control. It's interesting. Swamp, with some very strange-looking basics. So I'm just thinking in terms of overall value, you're probably getting a pretty good deal at this point with Murders at Karloff Manor. It's just that I don't think people like they don't like Disguise that much. They don't like that detectives are kind of a weak archetype. It's not really going to get there in Standard. Oh, Kellen. This is actually a pretty playable card. Just comes down on 2 and starts drawing you more aggro drops. Put them with the multicolor cards. I don't have a lot of practice talking and opening packs at the same time yet, so I hope you all will forgive me if I'm not always keeping up on being entertaining at the same time. Hopefully the cards will help to make up where my shortfallings might be. Thrashing Brontodon. Yearling, it's a good one for the dinos. Abuelo Ancestral Echo. 2/2 Flying Ward 2. 1 white blue, exile another target creature or artifact you control. Return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I mean, it's a powerful effect, it's just expensive. Trying to hold that much mana open is no small thing. But if you were flickering something like an artifact that makes your opponent sacrifice a creature, for example, that wouldn't be too bad. Siren again. Still think Siren could have a place in a deck that wants an artifact and also wants mana. Dead Weight's not bad. See, I like this set, but I also like some other sets that people think are pretty bad. Ooh, Bitter Triumph. This is a great hit. Excellent piece. And the Warden of the Inner Sky. People love this card. For good reason. It's pretty effective. Funky Island and a bat. So I guess what I'm saying is, I just kind of go wherever the value is. You know, if something is really expensive, I'm probably not going to buy it. I'm probably going to wait to see if the market cools off, and if it never does, maybe I never buy it. That's why you probably won't see me opening any boxes of Modern Horizons 3. I'm sure it's going to be useful, but I don't play Modern, and that's a lot of money to pay if you're not going to be playing the format. So, the Cenote Scout, definitely a good one. Anything that explores on the cheap. Anim Pakal is also an interesting card. Very nice in an aggro build. Foil Tithing Blade, Funky Mountain, and a map. Alright, see if I can pick up the pace a little bit here. So I love even the bad sets. People have generally decided this one is a good set. I can love the good sets too, don't get me wrong. I love Explore, Mazzolantli. That's a very playable card, whether it's expensive or not. Triumphant Chomp. I like the word chomp. Yeah, I'm generally pretty pleased to get a hold of most Magic sets, and I find enough use out of the cards other people find questionable that I doesn't hurt my feelings at all to go and buy something that's on discount. Some boxes I got upcoming on the channel here. I've got a box of Aftermath, which I bought for $39.65 before shipping. No, before tax. So with tax, it was like $42 and change. Super cheap. You know, yeah, it's got a lot of reasons why the market rejected it. It's got a bunch of weird niche commander cards in it and stuff, but it's also got some good, strong stuff too. Hey, Throne of the Grim Captain. It's a really strange one. Neat build around. And I've also got a box of Murders at Karlov Manor play boosters. So those will be upcoming. But when I can find a nice set like Ixalan on the cheap, you know, the draft booster box finally got down to a price I was willing to pay, then yeah, I'll go ahead and snap it up. Ugh, Benbach, the great mistake. I think this is maybe the worst of the two color cycle of uncommons. Oh, Cutsil. This is a neat piece of tech for just being an uncommon. Sentinel of the Nameless City is a great hit. Very powerful, mid-rangey kind of a card. Pirate Hut. You know, maybe I'm overthinking things. Maybe it's just that this set has pirates and dinosaurs in it, and vampires. Those have got to be some of the most beloved creature types in all of Magic. So what's not to like about the set? Polani's Hatcher. This is neat. I have a video on the channel called Eggs Erroneous, where Polani's Hatcher is an engine for the deck that sacrifices things that are eggs that are not just eggs from this. It also works for eggs from other sources. All right. Now we're past the halfway point here, getting towards the bottom third of the box, I think. Cave deck. Oh, Squirming Emergence. There's a deck built around that card. So yeah, it's not that Murders at Karlov Manor has nothing playable in it, but if you do look at the mechanics of the set, you know, disguised creatures are not the strongest, and oh, pack out a bunch of interesting cards. There's Inti. Disguise is not the strongest, and you know, some of the mechanics of this set, like Discover, are absurdly busted. So, yeah, of course people are going to like the one with the busted mechanics more than the weak mechanics. But Carl of Manor's also got just a bunch of great playable rares and stuff. So even if the overall mechanics of the set and, if the theme fell flat, which it did, too many colorful cards, not enough serious detective work going on. But still, it's got plenty of playable cards. But overall, I can see why people might like this one better. Abuelo's Awakening. This is a really neat one. You can return an artifact or non-aura enchantment to the battlefield. Becomes a 1/1 spirit. It gets +1 counters on it if you pay X. But at the end of the day, you can reanimate something for 4. And that could be, Portal to Phyrexia. The opponent sacrifices 3 things. Even if they kill your 1/1, well, you got the ETB trigger. I did love the original Ixalan. The Explore deck was a really serious contender. That was my favorite deck at the time when I was playing. Including on Arena. There was the card that every time you explore, it would get a +1/+1 counter on it, and you'd gain 3 life. And you could use that to, offset a damage race from just about anybody. Volatile Fault, this is a useful one. Blows up non-basics, and you don't have to have basics in your deck to use it, which is interesting. It just makes a treasure token instead. Cosmium Confluence, I like this card. I have seen a cave deck occasionally pop up on the ranked play on Arena. Looks like a pretty solid deck. There's maybe not a lot of other ways to try to use the card, but it seems like that deck's solid enough to see some play. Tully's Favor, pretty good Discover card. Spyglass Siren sees some play for sure. The Appraiser. Did the Appraiser get banned somewhere? Souls of the Lost. This is one of the mini 2-drops you could use in a black-green graveyard beatdown deck. This is not even necessarily the best of them. It does help to fill up your graveyard with more stuff, though. And there's something to be said for that. They got the Snail. Snail's a fine card, it just doesn't have a lot of synergies. So other similar cards, like the Bat, that's a flying lifelinker, or another almost identical creature that's got better creature types. Those tend to be the ones that see play. That's interesting art for Akawali. The Belligerent. I'm not as impressed with the Belligerent as I am with just the Magmatic Galleon. We're getting down to the tail end of the box here. Another Cosmium Confluence. Not too sad to see it. I think it might be fun to build a cave deck, even if it's only casually. Duskrose Reliquary's not a bad card either. So what do you all think? Um, do you think that Ixalan is a more popular set based on its overall mechanical themes? Do you think it's based on the flavor, the exploration of it, the overall power level of the set, all of the above, or some other inscrutable quantity that I have not named? Sound off in the comments. Pit of Offerings, I think this is a very playable card as well. It's just, like free graveyard hate on a land, basically. It's a tap land. Braided Net. Pretty good in the artifact decks. Alright, we're not quite to the bottom row yet, but we're almost there. So I believe Mark Rosewater said that they were going to design a new plane. Oh, Thousand Moon Smithy. And a foil chart, of course. He said they were going to design a new plane for the underground world. And the more they thought about it, the more they decided to just go back to Ixalan. So that's probably a plus all the way around. I don't know how likely they were going to find going back to Ixalan unless they found the right time and opportunity. So it may just be for the best that we didn't get brand new underground world. Instead, we got a revisit of Ixalan. Because this revisit of Ixalan has been very popular. Oh, it's Gishath in a funky art. Cool. Foil careening minecarts. Obviously I do wonder kind of what we lost. What a brand new world would have looked like, what they might have done with the underground world that's different than revisiting Ixalan. But clearly, people are happy that they went back to Ixalan. So, even though they claim that the first time they went there that it wasn't that popular, the Pugnacious Hammer Skull, this is a good hit. Not bad even outside of a dinosaur deck. Just outsizes whatever the aggro player's doing. Alright. This is third pack from the end. Here we go. Give me some fun hits for the camera. Alright. Diamond Pickaxe, Malicious Eclipse, not bad. Oh, Sanguine Evangelist. Yeah, that's a very playable card. Good in aggro, probably not bad in mid-range either. Alright. This is the second to last pack. Yeah, Freebooter's good playable. Clay-Fired Bricks, love it. Forgotten Monument. Reliquary. Oh, the Millennium Calendar. This is a weird one. Have seen people try to combo this with all All Will Be One, the red enchantment. It does get a scary number of counters. It can just kill the opponent from out of nowhere. It is definitely disruptible if you know what's up. And you run some artifact or enchantment removal. Or, you know, just counter spells, I guess. Alright, last pack. I am very happy to get these Lost Caverns of Ixalan cards. You know, I've got such a small collection of standard stuff. This is just going to be a bunch of useful tools for me. Triumphant Jump. Oh, it's another Geshath. Oh, it's cool. We get to end on a mythic here. And a foil rare, Fabrication Foundry. This one's great for the artifact deck. Alright. That is all she wrote, folks. So, hope you had fun opening up this box with me. I'll be updating my standard deck with things that I find out of here. This is just my personal collection. And, yeah, I'm going to keep doing a bit of everything on this channel. I'll keep doing more arena content, don't worry. And, you know, like and subscribe, check out my other videos. And until next time, never stop honing your critical thinking and empathy.